Welcome back, all my loyal patriots and nationalists of Ireland. Today we have another Newstalk, i.e. brainwash media reaction. This one is Declan Ganley roasting Kieran Cudley and some other dork. Okay, we have Storm Éowyn's aftermath sparks debate on green taxes. Now, obviously, Newstalk, they should be talking about restoring power to the people, giving them food, giving them supplies for young kids, elderly, helping them get electricity back. No. What do? They say we need to introduce more taxes to take money off you people. Let me tell you something, everybody. You don't hate the media enough. Like, comment, subscribe. I love you all. Today we have Declan Ganley talking on this show. Declan Ganley is a businessman, I think from Galway as well, so shout out to him. Much love to him. I would ring this show, but I would go on this show. I'd love to go on Newstalk to roast Kieran Cudley as well. I wouldn't do it over the phone. I would absolutely only go into the studio, though. I wouldn't let them get away with that.
Can you explain exactly what you would like the government to do and how it would help people in the here and now?
Immediately repeal these so-called carbon taxes or green taxes that they put on liquid fuels, on kerosene, on petrol, on diesel, on home heating oil. These are the only things that are working right now in the hard-hit parts of Ireland that still 6 days on, going to 7 days shortly, do not have power. This is how we're working our generators, our chainsaws, the stuff that we're using to cut ourselves out of this mess, and to boil water and help people out locally who have been left stranded because they don't have new homes with fireplaces in them, or if they have council houses that they're in some cases retrofitted because some idiot thought putting solar panels on it and taking away the fireplace was a good idea.
Yeah, 100%. And I'm from the west of Ireland, guys. Same as him, Galway, Sligo, Mayo, all these places, Kerry even affected, up to Donegal, massively affected regions by this storm. We need like these fuels and all this stuff coming in. Declan Ganley is a great guy, businessman. Obviously, this guy's like the Elon Musk of Ireland, giving it to them straight like that, so they understand the actual seriousness of this, of this aftermath, right? No, not fatal, like I said, no scaremongering, but just the infrastructural damage,
And people are now really stuck. I've literally been delivering boiling water to people in those circumstances within the last hour. And that's what's going on. So these taxes on diesel, on these fuels, on kerosene, on home heating oil, something that the Dáil could do if they could be bothered to come off their holidays and go back and start to legislate.
I love it, guys. Look, he's smiling. He's pretending to write something. Kieran Cudley, man, biggest bullshit artist. He's pretending to write something. The Dáil's been on holidays for 2 weeks, while in Galway, my family still doesn't have power. I have to get power somehow, hop on here and tell you guys about it. Try and educate, help the people know what the hell is going on in the West, because a lot of people don't know. We only hear from the mainstream media now. It's unbelievable. But I'm going to stay reacting to Newstalk for the next 10 years, as long as it takes, to get the bullshit away, guys, to get people understanding that these are liars, man.
To immediately repeal those taxes, because they are charging us money for policies that have proven to have failed, and they're making us pay to cut ourselves out of a mess that they have played a major part in making. Now, they're not responsible for the weather, but they are responsible for the policies that put people in a much tougher position than they needed it to be, and they are inflicting a cost burden on people by charging us these taxes on these fuels, which are the only things that are working, where the things that the basic services that the government are supposed to support are not working.
Oisín from Friends of the Earth is with us as well. Oisín, given the predicament people find themselves in...
Oisín from Friends of the Earth, some bullshit NGO organisation, probably. I don't know what that is. Sounds hippie-esque, though.
And their reliance on those fuels at the moment for heat and for electricity, if those fuels are powering generators, should we scrap those taxes?
Well, I think the government should be doing absolutely whatever it can do to help the people who are suffering right now, and that includes financial help, absolutely. But I am slightly mystified by what Declan thinks this will achieve. Like, he's mentioning the carbon taxes on diesel and petrol as well as on home heating oil. In each case, they add about 2 cents a year to the price, right? So in the case of petrol and diesel, the VAT and the excise is far higher, a far larger proportion of what we pay when we pay diesel or petrol is excise and VAT. Is he thinking, as he's saying, they should be taken away as well? Why is he focusing on the carbon tax, which is much smaller? And like the excise went up recently because they took them, brought it down when Russia invaded Ukraine, and have put them back up again. So I presume if he cares about the price as opposed to sort of vice signalling around fossil fuels and how wonderful they are, he thinks the actual excise and VAT should come down just as much. But I also think, like, what's very clear is that burning fossil fuels is causing climate change, which is supercharging intense weather and weather extremes as we see climate breakdown accelerating.
What is he talking about? This is just all nonsense.
And if I understand Declan, he's saying the government should basically encourage us all to burn more fossil fuels rather than looking at what the solution is here, which is A, containing climate breakdown, slowing it down, preventing it as much as possible, and B, moving to a much more resilient fuel system. I've been talking to people around the country today, and actually the houses that have been least affected are the ones that are best insulated for a start, even before you get to electricity.
Honestly.
This guy is a dork. The best insulated houses. It's freezing. We have double glazed windows. Is this guy an idiot? We have double glazed, triple glazed windows in some cases. It's freezing in our house. It's colder inside the house than it is outside because there's no heating, electricity. These guys are straight idiots, man.
This is too much bullshit to listen to on
Declan,
one program.
Let me finish my point. I was heard of a house
Such
today
bullshit.
where they had.
Declan is 100% right. Such bullshit, man. What kind of idiot? These guys are just dorks. They're nerds, man. Skinny little pencil neck nerds. They've never played sports. No sense of masculinity whatsoever. I mean, what the hell are these guys doing on the flipping TV?
Before you get to electricity.
On the radio, I mean.
Honestly, this is too much bullshit to listen to on
Declan,
one program.
Let me finish my point. I was heard of a house today where they had really good insulation, and over the course of 3 days, where they had no electricity and no heating, they only lost half a degree of temperature in total because their house was so well insulated. If you add to that solar PV, batteries and electric cars, you actually have a power source in your house that can charge your essential stuff while you're waiting for the grid to be re-established.
Declan, let's go through that bit by bit. Why the focus on green taxes as opposed to cutting VAT or excise?
Because they're moronic. And we've just heard a green moron spouting the same nonsense that we've been hearing for years and supporting policies that have people in new houses with all of these environmental regulated fixtures and fittings that don't work.
Yep.
Their EVs are sitting in their driveways. They can't move them. They can't open their electric gates. They can't heat their homes. This is not one or two instances. This is house after house after house. People are experiencing this. They've retrofitted houses that did have fireplaces in them where you could burn turf or timber or coal or whatever. And they've retrofitted them with panels and with systems that are now not working. So people are having to get help to boil water, to cook their food and everything else.
But just to repeat the question. No, I just let me repeat the question.
Taxes.
Yeah, why the focus? I'm not quite sure, if you find kind of calling names gets you far in other arguments, but nevertheless, I mean,
What an absolute dork. What an absolute dork, guys. I just find this calling people names, does that get you far in arguments? Like, these guys are idiots, man. They're just trying to push an agenda that nobody cares about, man. What is he talking about, man? He's saying that these taxes coming in are all nonsense. This is ridiculous. How does having an insulated home help you when you have no electricity or heating in your house? This is so stupid, guys. These guys are dorks, man.
Come down here and spend a week where people can't have a bath, can't have a shower, cannot boil water, haven't had running water for days at a time, and while it's fine to spend time to be up in Dublin, I know you're far removed from this, and it's not impacting people up there. It's really impacting people here.
But that's because it's supercharged.
Look, Kieran Cully he actually just crumbled. Bro, if I could debate these people, I would win any election. A lot of people don't understand. These people are just so... He's just sitting there all smug like, oh yeah, you can't say anything to me. Like, I would happily come on and debate these guys for an hour. I mean, there's just complete bullshit that they peddle every single day to the people. He cracked. He had nothing to say. He's like up there in his big house and somewhere in wherever, Dublin. He's close to Dublin. He said he commutes an hour a day. It's just complete nonsense. If I could debate these people, I would win any Dáil office immediately. They're so slow on the uptake, it's unbelievable. I mean, he just gets roasted by this Declan guy. Shout out to Declan Ganley. Well roasted, Kieran was indeed.
People up there. It's really impacting people here.
But that's because the supercharged storm
you ain't got nothing to say now.
Has knocked out their electricity. Like that, and the state is the ESB. Everyone's very praising of the ESB workers and those who've been joined from around Europe to put the power back in place. So it's the lack of electricity that's causing this problem.
It's not as I said, they're not responsible for the weather. We know weather events happen.
And they happen more often because of climate change.
Apparently. So let's talk about climate change and talk about it. China is installing in 2025 100 new coal plants. 150 gigawatts of power of coal power is being built in China right now. The idea that we are going to put our own people into these crippling circumstances when the difference that we make is like moving one grain of sand from a beach at a time. We have no effect, none.
We have zero effect on the planet, guys. Ireland, if you ever leave this country, I know a lot of people don't, like these guys are all, whatever, but it's like a speck in the ocean. We don't do shit. The US and China and India, they're like 90% of the world's flipping greenhouse or whatever these climate people want to talk about. They're massive. We are not going to offset anything that they do ever. So forget about all that nonsense.
No effect whatsoever.
Nothing.
It's pure virtue signaling.
Declan, can I ask you a question though? I mean, again, to just come back to what was the reason we're having this discussion, which was your point about repealing the so-called green taxes, and to Oisín's point that, I mean, if your concern was making those fuels more affordable for people during a crisis, surely the call would have been to cut VAT or excise, given they're much more, they're just more impactful. But so in calling for green taxes, are you not just taking advantage of the situation people find themselves in to kind of score a point in the climate culture wars? That's kind of low, isn't it?
The green taxes were the most recent taxes that were imposed on fuel. They can be repealed first. Then certainly lower the other taxes on liquid.
If I became Taoiseach or president, first day in office, executive order, even though we can't even do those, I don't think we can even do executive orders, maybe a few, I would completely get rid of all these taxes on all this climate. So I mean, this is ridiculous, lads. This is just driving the price of fuel up.
Fuels, they're way too expensive in Ireland anyway, and clearly they're the only thing that works when you're really in a pinch, as has been proven to be the case now, where we have policy failure manifest for hundreds of square miles around from where I am right now. So yes, repeal them first. Certainly lower the other liquid fuel taxes and gas taxes, because those are the things that work. Those are the things that are proven to be able to save people's lives and stop them from dying of hypothermia in dire times like it.
I know it's quite expensive, but if anybody can afford a generator, like €1,000 for a generator, I know it's expensive, lads, like it's a lot, but you can take petrol or diesel, pour it into the generator, and then you have fuel, and you can fuel your whole house, lights, cars, phones, laptops, everything, heaters. So like the fuels is what we need, guys. This whole nonsense about electric is just nonsense.
In difficult times like this. So yes, repeal all of them.
Just for perspective, the carbon tax adds 2 cents a year to the price of petrol, because since the Russian invasion, per litre, 2 cents per litre a year. The price of petrol and diesel has gone up and down by about 50 cents, from €1.50 to €2. It's the excise and the international price.
Agree.
The carbon tax isn't what's driving the price.
Such a small number that we should immediately get rid of them because they make no difference. I agree. Let's get rid of them. We're in agreement. It's such a small amount.
We need businessmen. Let me just say one thing. I want to keep stopping this video. We need businessmen in Irish government. We need people that are going to, like this guy, Declan, people that are going to run the country properly. These guys couldn't run a McDonald's. You know what I mean? They couldn't run anything. Even a CEO like Supermax, one of these guys that are really good with money, like that would help the economy. Nobody in the government, I don't even think they left secondary school or they flipping got a college degree. I have a college degree. This shit's easy. It's free in Ireland. It's like, bro, like it's just, what I'm saying is we need people that are like professional in the government. Or not even professional, just educated on business. You know, even farmers. I'd love to have farmers in the government. I'd love to have statesmen. You know, people that are not political. Because all these political people, they basically ruin the government because they're playing a game with the people. They're like these career politicians for 30 years. You guys see Leo Varadkar, idiot. He was the worst Taoiseach of all time, apart from the new guy, the worst of all time. He got a job lecturing in Harvard. I mean, who would listen to that moron? Imagine taking a lecture from Leo Varadkar. Oh my god, dude, I'd rather listen to my dog or cat talk for a while. I mean, just completely stupid, like.
Of money, it makes no difference to you.
Let Oisin make a point.
They
go
need
on.
to be gone.
So
then we move on to the next one.
If your point is, do the carbon tax change behaviour, in a huge way? The answer to that, I think, is no. But it's a signal to business in particular that fossil fuels will get more and more expensive.
It's
Hang on
a signal to. Yes, it is a signal.
Hang on a second.
Yes.
This year,
and
though,
that's all it is, a virtue signal.
This year, because of the carbon tax, the government is spending €469 million on grants to people to make their homes warmer. It's spending €306 million on social protection, including €100 million on the fuel allowance to allow people to buy fuel for their homes.
China's building 150 gigawatts of coal-fired power. You are peeing into the wind. It makes no difference. You need to build nuclear power stations in Ireland, small modular reactors, if you really want carbon-free.
I would love a small modular reactor or a nuclear power station. That would be amazing. They're all over Eastern Europe. They're perfect.
Declan, there's 10 debates happening here.
I'll come on to China in a second, but the government is spending close to €1 billion on social protection, on farming, and on retrofitting with the carbon tax this year. If we didn't have that money, would you prefer to pay higher income tax? Would you support higher corporation tax? Or would you support...
Where do you think that money's coming from? The magic money tree? We're paying for that.
Yes,
out
we
of
are.
Our taxes.
Yes, so if you want to abolish that tax...
the hard-working people of Ireland and putting it into
social protection, into social protection.
About the people in rural Ireland right now.
It's been put into social protection, into retrofitting grants, and into farming schemes.
Social protection. The people that are coming up getting boiling water
into
from
fuel
today.
allowance,
how much social protection have they got?
I agree. But the people in the west of Ireland are getting killed. 6 days without power, 7 days. Now they're saying it's going to be till February 5th. That's 2 weeks without power. 2 weeks without boiling water, electricity. Like, it's tough when you're living in it, guys. It's tough. I did it for 4 or 5 days. It's horrendous. No electricity, no water. I mean, this guy who looked like his mum knitted the sweater, this little eco boy, let's call him sweater vest, pencil neck sweater vest, he hasn't got a clue, man. These guys haven't lived a rough day in their life. I mean, they don't hit the gym. They're just Poindexters. I can't respect guys like this. I mean, this is just ridiculous.
So if you don't have that money, would you rather pay higher corporation tax?
You're a bunch of Greta Thunbergs,
would you rather support a wealth tax
morons,
or income tax?
Put this country, and particularly rural Ireland, into a horrible situation, and you continue to pontificate with this expensive nonsense. And people are cold in their homes, and they're going to be cold in their homes tonight because of this kind of thing.
I thought we were debating how best.
I think the storm is the reason.
Yeah, I thought we were debating how best to fund the supports that people should get.
No. Declan's a smart guy. He's talking about the overall picture. See, these guys are small minds. Declan Ganley is saying that they're going to be cold in their homes because of idiots like this green guy, green people. I mean, there shouldn't even be a green party. How your man got into power again is just mind-boggling. Like, all the Greens got disbanded. Like, it's all bullshit ideas.
Be corporation tax, or wealth tax, or carbon tax, or income tax. You seem to be saying don't fund it at all, and don't make it happen. But we want the state to be in a position to support people, not just in this storm, but to be resilient for the future storms.
The state. What you are seeing out my window right now is state failure. Yep. State failure. That's what you're seeing.
The ESB,
right now.
The ESB is a state.
You can't make this up. What's his name? Kieran getting nervous again. You know, has his finger in his mouth. He's like picking his nails again. I mean, these guys are like, they're like flipping children, guys. I mean, this is just complete lack of leadership. And you have these people on the air. Oh my God, man! You gotta have me on your show. I'd roast you twice as hard as this Declan guy.
What you're saying?
The ESB is a state-owned company. So you're saying the ESB networks aren't helping at all?
The ESB networks, God bless them, they haven't got power backup running across this area right now, and I know that there are foreign crews in. I also know that the European Commission didn't get a call from anyone from Dublin until a day and a half after the storm hit, when they should have been getting a call 2 or 3 days before the storm hit.
Yeah,
so the lack of preparedness is one issue that needs to be...
Oh, we seem to have lost.
Listen. He hung up there, whatever. He's so pissed off. I'd hang up with these morons as well. But like, the lack of preparedness in this country is abysmal. Okay, we're reactive. We're not proactive. We need to become proactive, because this is going to happen again next year, and then it's going to be again 5 or 6 days, 2 weeks. Could be worse next year. Three weeks without power. What happens if it goes a month? I mean, it's crazy. They're doing this on purpose, guys, because the ESB, they're in cahoots with the government. They're saying, let's not give the power back to the people. And that's a metaphor. Let's not give the power back to the people, if you get what I'm saying. Let's not give electricity back. Let's not give water back. They're doing this on purpose. So you, the people, have to now be like, okay, master, please, master, bring the power back. It's all done by design. It's a psyop, psychological warfare, so that you break down, be demoralized. You understand? Stay strong, the people of Ireland. I love you all. I'm not listening to the rest of this bullshit. These guys are idiots, man. Bro, have me on your show. They followed me recently on Twitter, on X. I'd love to go on their show and roast them, but only in person. I wouldn't be phoning in because they get a bit too cocky when they're phoning in. I want to see them in person. I love you all. I'll see you guys on the next one. Like, comment, subscribe if you guys want to subscribe to the Patreon. Link is in the description for my Patreon to support me as well, my merch, all that good stuff, guys. And I'll see you guys tomorrow, man. Peace.